the OC stuff, I talked about it yesterday a little bit about piping down and chilling out a little bit. And people were kind of, I guess, ensuing that there's talk that we would hire an OC if he were to be kept, which, from my understanding, there was no official word of that. That was just kind of hearsay. Have you heard anything, or is it kind of just how it's been, just radio silence? Of like it could go, it could be nothing for an OC.
I really think it's. I know options are being considered, uh, and
Okay.
not just for that specifically, but what Florida's maybe in offensive staff is going to look like in general. It's not hide from the fact that there's 4 assistant coaches whose contracts expire at the end of this month, and 3 of them on their offensive side of the ball. And we've reported at Gators Online, and I said it the last time I was on your show. I expect some staff change. I don't know what that's going to look like or where it's going to be at. But I do think that once they work their way through these contracts that have to either get renewed or not, that's going to probably dictate where they go from there
Okay.
for a potential play caller, more offensive assistance. Like, as in most scenarios, when somebody comes in as a play caller or an offensive coordinator, they typically want to hire their own offensive line coach.
Yeah.
And, so like there's so much that has to get worked out. Rob Sale is already the offensive coordinator at Florida and has that title and has that pay grade. So it's kind of very similar to Ron Roberts in a way. Like, you don't know what that dynamic is going to look like with a new guy coming into the room. How does that work out from a staffing standpoint, from a hierarchy standpoint? Like that. I think literally that is getting figured out as we speak.
And I think the people were like panicking, like, "Oh, he got serious, like it's taking forever." But like you just said, there's multiple people up for an expiration at the end of the month. You've It's also been reported by you guys on three about having the GM hire plus multiple front end hires, right? That front office, which, like you just said on the show, are probably going to have a hand in that next movement, right? They're going to be part of that conversation moving forward. So that all has to happen first. And I think I don't know, we get impatient, but there's still teams in the playoffs, which there's people that are intrigued, that are intrigued by that. The NFL is still happening. The NFL season just
That's
ended,
the key.
right?
Yeah.
That's where the
Like,
eyeballs are, is the
look,
NFL. Let's look at the NFL. Okay. That
think
just
about
ended.
this.
It's playoff time, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with PrizePicks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. And right now, you can win up to 1,000 times your money on PrizePicks. And PrizePicks now offers MasterCards for quick and easy deposits for your account this sports season. Now, there may not be football on tonight or the next few nights, but there are plenty of other things that you can get in the action on. This was my lineup for Sunday. I felt pretty confident about it. Let me know your thoughts. Did you like this? Fantastic game between these two matchups. Again, for that last and final seed. But be sure to use PrizePicks all offseason, all postseason long, and after that by using the code Hightop when you sign up. And when you play your first $5, you get back $50 in return. You don't have to win or lose. It goes back in there instantly, guaranteed when you use the code Hightop. PrizePicks, again, use the code Hightop. Play your first $5, get $50 back when you use the code Hightop. PrizePicks, run your game. Now back to the show.
Where are some of the recent hires that Billy's made come from?
Starts with N and ends with L. F's in the
So
middle. Will
that's
Harris, there was 2, right? The strength, or not strength and conditioning, but the special teams coordinator. He was from the Patriots. I can't think of his
yep.
name.
And then
Chapman.
they're
He had
one
he
of their
had
strength
NFL
coaches.
experience, I think,
Correct,
right?
he did. And then one of their strength coach and new nutritionist as well that they brought over from
That's right.
Washington. So
That's what I was
uh,
thinking of, the Washington guy.
he likes to tap into the NFL, and I think any coaching additions that he makes to his staff are going to have NFL candidates considered. And I think if he decides to bring in a new coordinator for defense or offense, there's going to be a lot of consideration that's taken into that. We all know how meticulous Billy is. He measures 5 times and cuts once. He's just that kind of guy. And I think that would probably be one of the last things that gets figured out in terms of this staffing that he does in the offseason. But I will say that I think they're going to get through this month of, the portal wrapping up and finding the last spots in their 25 class and let these contracts expire at the end of the month before we're going to get a lot of movement on the coaching front. So,
and no reason to panic on that. Tell everybody to simmer
yeah,
down. We're all cutting once. We're all measuring once, cutting 5 times. Okay, so let's just simmer down. Let Billy measure 5 and cut once. That's how I try to explain to people. I said, look, I don't know where you're going. The season's 10 months away. Relax.
yeah.
You can't call any plays right now, anyways. What's important is getting Tyler Miles back. That's the next guy to take over. He's going to be the guy that has him for the next 2 months. Okay, so no OC can do anything. Recruiting is,
and consider this possibility is if they did bring in someone on offense or defense to coordinate things from the NFL level. Some of these guys maybe could even be coaching in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was going to say too.
If that's something that is has to play out before that option can be explored and considered, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean something's going sideways or they're not working on this process. Sometimes you got to wait until guys can interview for the job. So
we're getting Dan Campbell for DC. That's what I heard. We're back.
Let's not make that go viral.